Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Day Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where you'll notice that today is a Saturday, and from the title you can tell I am not doing a Happy in Paradise episode today. And it's not a very complicated reason. I just, I've had a very busy week, so, it's been a lot. So I'm like, do I want to do a Happy in Paradise episode right now? It's not like it's unfun doing them, but they are definitely a lot more work than just, recording for like a casual 20 minutes talking about literally nothing. So I hope you can understand that, yes, so it's not going to be on today. I just generally, it's not even like an issue of time, which most of the times when I skip a Happy in Paradise it's generally I just want to relax. I just don't feel up to it today. So, that's just how it goes sometimes, Anyway, hello there everyone, right now in Fawnhollow, it's 5:12 PM on Saturday, December 10th, 2022. I've talked about it before. Genuinely, I like to do things, like a lot of times. I genuinely don't like to be not, like, working on something or doing something, which is perhaps, unsurprising. The fact, I do stuff in, my personal life, and then also, run a YouTube channel, and then also do art when I can, although I genuinely haven't done much arts for a long while. And I try to keep a balance of a lot of things going at once, because I just generally like to do things. I'm not like a complete workaholic. I wouldn't go that far, I'm not like what's her name in Devil Wears Prada? I can't remember what main character's name is, but any of those characters in Devil Wears Prada. The Devil Wears Prada. I'm not like that. I'm not like working in recreation. I know how to relax. I know how to chill out. I know, and I have my own days where I'm just like I don't feel today. I don't feel like doing anything. That sort of thing. So yeah. I mean, like, I don't mean in the sense it's like, oh, here I am trying to justify my rabid fan base of, like, why I'm not giving them a Happy Home Paradise episode. Like, the people who watch Animal Crossing, everyone's here basically just to chill and vibe out. And if they wanted Happy Home Paradise episodes, and there's like 100 and something, which, anyone could watch. So, of course, none of you are going to complain, probably. Or if you do complain, then, I stand surprised. Luckily, everyone who's watched my videos thus far is very chill, which is nice, Everyone's, well, at least the people who leave comments, I suppose the people might not leave comments if they're not chill, but then, I don't read them, so, ignorance is bliss and all that. But yeah, even I have my days where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything today. And because, I've done a lot, and it's been very busy. Since past week, I'm just like, today I basically just played games. Like, Genshin Impact has a new patch out. There's so much stuff I need to catch up on. Like, I talked about the fact that I'm trying to think how to explain this if you don't play Genshin Impact. Basically, there's like it uses the sort of energy system you see in a lot of mobile games, and you spend that energy on resources. And one of my favourite things to do in the game is to get resources to level up my characters to an excessive degree, because I've leveled up almost all my characters in the game. And just at the end of last patch, I was like, oh, I'm basically done with these characters now. Like, I don't need more characters to level up. So, and then my friends wanted to do some pulls on new characters, and I was like, I'll give a few pulls, because, I wouldn't mind getting this character, but I'm not desperate for them. And I actually managed to get them in actually quite a few, quite a short amount of pulls. And also every other character in the game, almost, I was missing, which, resulted in me now having like 5 characters to build, which normally, I would say in one patch I will get the opportunity to build 2 characters, like 1 character each half patch. 5 characters is going to take me like 2 or 3 patches to build, and it's a bit of a monumental task, but also I'm just like, yes, I like these sort of like goals and aspirations and things to do, I suppose, in the first place. So I spent a lot of time just, playing a bit of Genshin, playing a bit of my Idol Master Shiny Colours. There's a new Twilight Collection Madoka banner out, which I'm trying to, do my true ends for, etc, etc. None of that's going to mean anything to you. There's basically no way I can, like, shorthand explain it. I guess I'm trying to get the new card. And I'm just relaxing, I'm watching videos, I haven't watched, like, CGP Grey videos for ages and that sort of thing, and checked some of them out, like Batman uploaded a new video, maybe they didn't, I can't remember. So basically I'm just like, sometimes you want to be a couch potato, and that's okay, Probably the problem comes if you are a couch potato more than you should be, then that's kind of like a, maybe consider doing something, that's rewarding, but, everyone has different definitions, I suppose, of how much they're wanting or willing to do, I suppose, which is completely fair enough, and it's not really up to me to decide, to be honest, and of course, anyone from an outside perspective can look at something, and, everyone's always got judgments about something, but I'm not really here to sort of like pass my judgments on you or whoever you are as a person. I don't know your situation, etc, etc, and even at the core of all the things, none of the things I'm meant to be saying is meant to be judgment towards you. I'm just sort of speaking randomly about myself most of the time, but, it would be remiss of me to not realise that it has an influence an impact on what people think and judge and perceive. So, you know, just sort of like getting out ahead of that. But yeah, like you might be like, what do you generally do on like your like lazy days there, darling, when you're like, oh, you got to kick back, relax, you're like, I can't be bothered to do anything. You know, amusingly, you might be like, do you like just stay in bed? It's not generally, actually, you know, sometimes I do sleep in. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like like, when days I'm tired, I sleep in. On days I'm allowed to as well, you know. Like weekends, obviously, yeah. If I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep in. And today was actually like a day I actually slept in. Like actually, to be fair, I woke up at 9. But I just stayed in bed for like until like 10:30. Because not normally I'm usually up by 9 on a weekend. Earlier, if I can swing it, depending on, you know, how late I stayed up playing ARAMs or something the day before with my friends. But generally, I don't like lying in bed. Like when I do things to relax, it's normally the activities I choose to actively partake in, which I do to relax, rather than choosing to not do anything. Like choosing just to lie in bed is like not really what I do to relax, to be honest. Like outside of sleeping, obviously, you know, I guess it's sort of like a sanctity of sleeping in the first place, is that I don't like to sort of pop that bubble, you know. If I'm gonna sit down and sleep and like relax in that sense, it is to sleep. It's not for anything else. It's not to close my eyes. I'm gonna have a nap. It's not like I don't want to do anything. But you know, maybe that changes in the future. You know, and I'm sure lots of parents could probably, you know, sympathise with the concept of, you know, raising a child and just being like, I just need like 30 minutes where I just sit there and do nothing or something. Fair enough, you know. I'm not a parent. I can't really judge. I don't have that level of responsibility. But, you know, would that be how I relax? I don't know. But the way I relax right now is basically just sort of like watching videos that I want to do that I like haven't had a chance to catch up on. I guess that's other people's equivalent of like Netflix, or watching like Hulu, HBO Max. I don't know what other streaming services, Disney Plus, etc., all these other streaming services. Not sponsored, by the way. It'd be a terrible sponsor because I would never use their service, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's probably like the equivalent. You know, I watch my Twitch streams of like Northern Line or like other interesting YouTubers and videos, video essay sort of things that I haven't caught up on. I play the games I like to play, you know, and it's amusingly, it's not usually new games I'm out playing, because, you know, right now obviously I'm playing, you know, new games on like the YouTube channel. That's kind of like what I'm doing. Most of the time, if I want to relax, I want like a game which I know incredibly well, i.e. League of Legends, like playing an ARAM or something, or playing with my friends, or like a, you know, one of these like gacha-esque games I play well, or ones which have like a sort of daily long process, you know. You might be like, you know, I've talked about, you know, like the addictive portion of these sort of games and ad nauseum in the past, but, you know, as long as I suppose you maintain a healthy relationship with them, then, you know, I mean, you can maintain healthy relationships with them, is probably what I'd say, but, you know, it's something which you should tread with caution, because at any point it could very easily slip into something not healthy. But we're not here to talk about the, you know, the decision making behind, you know, these sort of games with microtransactions or whatever. They are very routine games to me, which is why I kind of like them, because that fits the style of play I like to do more. I don't binge games. I don't binge things in general, you know, like TV shows, etc., etc. Like even like binging for me is like watching 3 or 4 videos. I'm just like, whoa, that's way too many videos in one day. And as I've come to understand it, binging for other people is watching the entire series or the entire season in one day, which I'm just like, genuinely, I don't know. Obviously, I physically could do that. If you were like, here's £1 million if you watched all of, I don't know, like 40 times. Maybe 40 times is a bad one, because that has a lot of seasons. I think about it. Watch all of like the new Wednesday show or something in one day. I'd be like, okay, obviously I'm going to do that. And like, I'm not immune to being able to do that. It's just like I don't want to do that. That's not how I relax. And even games themselves, like I generally don't. At least not anymore. Maybe when I was younger, I certainly used to binge things a lot more. But nowadays, I don't really want to binge things. I just want to, you know, be able to sort of like hit all my comfortable sites, I suppose, that I'm used to. Like, play the games that I like for an hour, a couple hours. I suppose you could argue that's kind of binging. Binging things. If I'm just doing it, I'm still like playing like a huge amount, more than the normal amount of hours of games in a day. It's just, you know, it's not the same game, and I'm jumping back and forth between things and spreading them out with other things, which I don't know if that really counts as binging. But yeah, again, I don't really know what the definition of binging is. But that, you know, that's generally what I like to do. You might be like, do you watch TV? Do you watch movies? Do you listen to music while you're doing it? Not generally. It's sort of like, I suppose when I want to relax, I do something which is very simple and comforting, and things like very, very routine, I suppose, is what I'd say, which is kind of, I'd imagine how most people go. I don't know many people who go like, oh, you know what I really need to do to relax right now is I need to do a completely novel experience which I've never done before. Which, you know, I love the idea of doing that, but like physically that would not, I don't think it would necessarily relax me. And I mean, it would be less stressful, I think, to me compared to maybe the average person, but I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, oh yeah, that's exactly how I unwind. I'm gonna take up a new hobby. I'm gonna go to take a tango class or something. That's just genuinely not true. But people generally try and rely on things that they're comfortable with, right? When they need to relax, things that they know, things that are expected for them, things that, you know, won't give them any surprises. I don't know what recipes we got, so I hope. I'm looking at these just to see if any of these feel like something which we don't have. And but those are the other two I feel like we might not have had: the food item or the flower crowns. Because and that can be, you know, different things to a lot of people. You know, if you're much more of like an exercise fanatic, you might be like, I choose to go on a run to relax. That's like my not lazy days. Well, maybe it is lazy days. What I'm trying to really get at here. I don't know. Anyone watching like a huge like athletic? I don't want to say nut, because even though that's a phrase, it feels kind of rude. And anyone like really like a gym bro or whatever, it's like, is this what you do to unwind? You're like, oh, I just had like a really stressful day at work or whatever. Or like, you know, if you're like an introvert and you're like, man, I had like 8 social gatherings within like the past like 4 days or something. I just need to unwind, and that's how you unwind. You unwind by like hitting the gym or that sort of thing. Maybe. Genuinely, maybe. And I don't think it's surprising that people rely on their own comforts, I suppose, for times to unwind. I'm sure you can do some sort of scientific study of the brain where you're like, oh yeah, this is you know, this like repeating habits or patterns which you're used to is comforting to the brain and allows the brain time to recharge and reflect on these experiences, etc, 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 etc. Do I know what I'm talking about? Absolutely not. I'm just completely guessing and making this up. But, you know, if it has any sort of semblance of, you know, accuracy behind it, that'd be pretty impressive, is what I'd say. I'd be like, whoa, check me out better than ever in my original work of art. You might be like, what song is that? It's like Pony Racers or something from My Little Pony. I genuinely don't know how that came to mind, but still. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what is something I might do to relax which is not conducive to something like a sort of like I don't want to say casual, you know what I mean, like a common thing for me to do, like an expected thing, like thing where there's no surprises, things where I understand like what I'm getting into if I, you know, interface with it. Really confusing way to explain, to basically ask what is something that fits a bill, which is not that. Does that make sense? I'm not really sure. I can't really think of something off the top of my head, to be perfectly honest. But there probably is something. You might be like, do you eat like junk food? Do you eat like chocolates and that sort of thing? The answer to that is no, but you probably could guess that answer already if you knew me. You'd be like, you know, dear darling, she doesn't really like sweet things. Of course, she's not going to like eat like a tub of Ben & Jerry's or something on a day to relax. A packet of crisps? Maybe. Genuinely maybe, but even then it's not like, whoa, a crazy amount or anything. Just trying to think what else. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head, so like, well, what is a common thing that people do to unwind and relax? I feel like the most common thing that people always say is like watch something like TV, Netflix, etc, etc, and the other thing is just eat, you know, like junk food or whatever. Not to say that I'm immune to wanting to eat junk food, but it's not like actually maybe it is. I'm trying to think about this. Like on days where I'm like too lazy to cook, right? You know, do I turn to junk food as an answer? It's not like I turn to junk food as I turn much more to sort of like takeout food, you know, like a ready-made meal, I suppose, which is sort of just like most of the time it is junk food. Actually, there was a really recent time where I was basically like, I kind of want junk food today, you know, and I went to a Taco Bell or whatever. I went to a Taco Bell, not the Taco Bell. There's not like one Taco Bell in existence. I went to a Taco Bell to eat my dinner. I can't even remember what it was, to be perfectly honest. And it was after a very tiring sort of trip, and, you know, with lots of imbibing, shall we say. So that's kind of why. So I'm not going to say I'm immune to it. Just like, it doesn't... I would wager it does not happen to me nearly as often as it would happen to the average person. Now, undoubtedly, there's people out there, even from my perspective, be like, whoa, you need to, like, relax, my dude. Whereas, like, you are intense, too intense all the time or something. Yeah, that's not really, I don't really know anyone like that, I suppose. I can't really think of someone who is just like, my way of relaxing is to do more work. Well, I don't know. My father's kind of like that now I think about it. But still. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing now I'm thinking about it. I feel like there must be something, not something wrong in my brain, but like, that I must have some sort of contradiction in my reasoning here, because I feel like it doesn't make sense to me. When I'm like, to relax, I don't like sitting there just doing nothing, but also I like sort of, daydreaming about that sort of thing. I can sit there and do nothing and be entertained. Like, if I had to wait for like an hour or something, I can just sort of sit there and just like imagine and think about things, and I'd be perfectly fine for that hour. So like, that feels like there should be a contradiction there. I guess it's more like I don't seek out to create those opportunities and experiences for me, so much so, but when they happen naturally, I'm fine with them happening. Does that even make sense? I don't really know. I feel like I'm just sort of saying nonsense now. Like, okay, like, you might be like, oh, you normally say nonsense. Okay, yeah, like, more nonsense than usual. But this just like, this feels like this doesn't make sense in my brain. Like, I can't reconcile these strange, like, resolutions and differences. Maybe there isn't even a difference. It just feels weird in my brain. Does it not? Like, surely there must be something of, well, I don't know. They're not really mutually exclusive, are they? The ability to sit there without, like, stimulation, I suppose, and still be entertained. And, the desire to not seek that out, I suppose, as entertainment, as relaxing entertainment. I don't know. Anyway, so this is what I suppose I would call my couch potato day. Or it's not even a couch potato. If anything, my sort of thing would be like desk chair potato. I don't really know if that makes sense. But like I don't know. I keep saying like I don't know and like yeah. So what? No. So yeah. It's just all the fillers in. Clear my brain not firing on all cylinders or something today, but still. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess a nice relaxing walk through the park. Or like not through the park, but like from outside, I suppose in general, is a good way for me to personally unwind. Do I do that all the time? Not all the time, to be perfectly honest. There's not many times where I'm just like, oh, got a free moment. What should I do with the time? Most of the time, it'll be like, I'll play a game, or I'll draw, or I'll well, those are the two main things. There's not many times I'll be like, oh, I'll go for a walk, which maybe I should start doing more often. It's not like I'm addressed and doing like walking or like going outside or anything. Is I don't know. I guess the initial like buy-in energy requirement to do it in the first place is a lot lower than just being like, oh, turning to the side and I forgot. Turning to the side and drawing. Sorry, finish my sentence. I forgot. I bought a drawing tablet arm, and which I need to set up today. So I guess I'll go do that after this video. So in fact, I'm going to go do that now. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Darling. Likes, comments, subscriptions, greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now, and enjoy a relaxed day, hopefully.